These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
Got the moves that really move them. I said chills up and down their spines. I'm just a sexy boy.
Sexy boy. Two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. It's America's barley basket.
Welcome to episode 74 of America's Barley Basket. My name is Nathan Fulsabuck. Sitting next to me physically is Marlon Wells.
Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlon.
How are you, bud?
It could be better. I mean, we're at a point in my life where that's redundant. Though.
I'm gathering that because that seems to be your default response is a high-pitched groan with a non-committal answer.
That high-pitched groan is just like a 3-second diagnostic check. Like, ooh, boy, that ain't good. That could be much better. That toe aches
this
endlessly.
Hurts, this aches, this is dry, this is wet.
This used to not be numb. Now it's numb.
Dry places are wet places are dry. That's no good.
Well, we're leaning more towards wet mostly.
You damp boy.
Damp boy. Always in need of like a wet nap or a
pat down of sorts.
A pat down, yeah. I think we need to break the stigma of the man pawn. Just like a cotton on a little string.
Okay.
You can just maybe put in your ass crack. Or you put like in the V between your genitals and your thigh.
Okay.
Just to soak up some of that nonsense and just quick fling out the window of a moving car. Biodegradable? Care about the goddamn fucking a bird of prey would eat that thing in a hurry because that's covered in all sorts of God knows what. So
we got to ban the man pond. We're killing all the falcons.
We need to get on Shark Tank. The man pawn.
You think Cuban would go for that? Cuban's a sweaty guy. Don't tell me.
I'm just gonna say he's too worked up to not be sweaty.
Yeah, I see him at the basketball games.
Yeah. I had a friend that the first time I heard that term, he talked about he would make his own man puns by just rolling up a bunch of toilet paper, just shoving it in his ass crack or his crotchal area just to soak up what needs soaking, I guess. I didn't get too graphic, but...
Fun fact, Dusty Rhodes used to call that the muffler, and he also wore one in the ring.
Well, what? In his ass crack?
Yeah, in case you shit yourself.
Oh, Jesus, Dusty.
Wrap up some toilet paper and jam it in your ass crack just in case.
I got a hunch. You shit your pants. That ain't slowing anything down. That's just going to cause it to spray. It's like putting your thumb over a hose, you know? Like it's just going everywhere.
I think he really wrapped up. I think we're talking a ball of toilet paper the size of your wrist, like just because Dusty had a lot of real estate.
Yeah,
to deal
he did.
With,
he was dummy thick.
Yeah,
man, Dusty, what are you eating that you're shitting your pants all the time? Oh man.
Austin talks about shitting his pants in the ring.
Does he?
Yeah, it was either Big Show or Yokozuna fucking slammed him and he shit his pants. Just like men tried to whisper, be sly about it, like, oh, we gotta go home, we gotta wrap this up. We can't be continuing this match for too long.
Fuck, that sucks.
CM Punk talked about deucing himself in the ring.
God, man, I am glad I don't have to wear bikini briefs to work.
You just wear them for fun.
Yeah, just horsing around, you know.
Horsing around, strictly recreational. Yeah.
I like to keep that as a fun thing. That's an at-home thing, not an at-work thing.
Yeah. A lot of wrestling bathroom tricks.
Yeah, right. Yeah. A lot of shitting your pants at work life hacks.
Oh, you want to talk about The Simpsons? We got Simpsons.
I guess.
We watched some, so we can talk about them.
Why not? Let's see what they have to say.
Why not? Let's start with episode number 11 of season 17. We're on the road to Dough-ware. I like that Principal Skinner is super hype about his new pre-owned Camry.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That seems like a car for Skinner, and I like that he's excited about it.
Enough that they get a conference call with Comptroller Atkins makes an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
That's a random name I haven't heard in a while.
Do you have any clue what a comptroller does?
No, not a bit.
If you got that question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and you were out of lifelines, What,
I'm walking.
yeah.
I'm walking.
You done? Nope.
Yep.
Sorry, Regis. Regis has been dead for a long time.
Yeah, shout out to Reg.
That's how dated my references
Not
are.
that long. Not as long as you would think.
Yeah?
Within the last 2 years, I bet.
Okay. Thank you for that.
I want to build you up. I know how self-conscious you are about your game show host knowledge.
Very.
Is Chuck Woolery a natural brunette?
Bart gets a hold of the steam tunnel key in order to get into where the steam tunnels are, which seems like a very Bart thing to do. I like that he drags Milhouse along, and Milhouse is just like, trouble is attention, and that's all he's interested in. They go down into the steam tunnels. We get a lot of switching back and forth here. Meantime, we go to Moe's, and Moe's going to take everyone on a party bus to Vegas because he got a bunch of lawsuit money from suing a rope company because their rope broke when he tried to hang himself. Jesus Christ, Moe. So he's gonna take all the regulars to Vegas to celebrate in this party bus. Meanwhile, back at the schools, I like that they have a room full of valves, and they're like, well, we got to turn one. So they turn one valve, which essentially destroys the school. Yeah. All of the other valves are choked off, and steam is pouring out of everything in the school, and hella water damage. A lot of water damage.
Yeah, he demolished a public school.
Yeah. I like that they show it, and there's like all immediately moss and vines growing out of the windows and everything. So they're going to send Bart to, I didn't write down the name of the camp, but he's getting sent to a military camp, like a behavioral correctional
naughty
camp.
boy school.
Yeah. Homer takes Bart to the airport so that he can send him to, I think it's Oregon. Where this camp is. And we find out that Bart is on the no-fly list, so can't fly, which means Homer has to skip his Vegas trip to drive him to Oregon to go to this behavioral camp. And the boys are gone, so Lisa and Marge are cleaning out all of Bart and Homer's shit and gonna sell it at a yard sale.
You ever have a yard sale in your life?
I don't think so.
Participated in one?
No, like I've sold stuff piecemeal on eBay or whatever, Craigslist here and there, but I don't think I've ever had like a real deal set up outside yard sale.
I think I've had one. I've participated in a couple, but I've had one on my own.
You strike me as somebody who has been to a handful.
Oh, 500 in my adult life.
Easily.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not in my childhood, it was even more. We were yard sale people. I come from proud. We were what do they call it? What was rummage sales?
Rummage
sales.
Yeah.
Going rummaging. I prefer rummaging. They try to church it up too much. Like,
it's a yard sale.
At the people that are here. These are rummagers. These are scavengers.
We are rummaging through garbage.
No one's smiling.
We ain't bought a new clothes hamper yet. We ain't gonna start now.
Yeah, there are things like that bug me to buy new. You know me well enough. It's like just grumbling. Pay retail for this.
Retail for this fucking clothes basket.
Yeah,
like I can see
Tupperware
that
containers
bothering you.
Yeah, like, this is
hang on, Tupperware containers. Buy Tupperware new, Nathan.
You get the old vintage actual Tupperware brand stuff. Ooh, those bright orange and yellow colors. That's where it's at.
There's something about used food containers that I don't want any part in.
I'm with you on like if you're buying just the cheap clear ones, you got to just chuck that shit.
Oh yeah, those like Gladware and shit like that. That's disposable.
Yeah. Someone microwave one too many, beefaronis in there. Now everything's red.
Yeah.
Everything looks like I got drunk the night before.
Yeah, I can't be having pasta stained Gladware.
All my
bowls.
Tupperware's got rosacea. I bring my Tupperware to a dermatologist.
I stored toilet wine in it for too long, and now everything's purple. Yeah. I can't stand to eat cereal out of it. It looks too gross. So Lisa and Marge gathering together all of Homer and Bart's shit and going to sell it at a yard sale. Meanwhile, Homer and Bart on their road trip run into a super lame opposite of them dad and son who are on their way to like a Shakespeare festival.
Yeah.
And I like that Homer and Bart can't help but fucking make fun of those two.
Heaven forbid father and son have a good time.
Yeah. Dude, look at those two. They get along and they're going to a thing they both enjoy. Yeah. How dare they? Bart tricks Homer and escapes. I like that his trick was to go into the bathroom, be in there too long, open the window so it looks like he's escaped, but really he's camping out in a stall. Homer gets stuck in the window. Bart takes off and in the meantime tells the fucking line cook Stavros that someone's trying to escape out the window, who then goes and beats his ass with a frying pan.
So good.
There was layers to that.
A lot of moving parts.
Yeah. We get a great joke here back at the yard sale where Flanders is buying back all of his stuff that Homer hasn't returned. One of which being the Joseph and the Coat of Many Colors soundtrack on vinyl.
We get a very long joke.
Holy shit, that joke. Because he's singing the song. I've never seen the thing, so I assume that it's from the musical. But he's like, just singing colors.
It's red and white and then it's like then just deeper colors. It's ochre,
ochre and blue and blonde and mauve and and like sings it all the way over to his house, and then you get a respite for just a second, and then he opens the window, still singing, waters his flowers on the main floor, and then closes it. You get another brief respite. He pops up on an upstairs floor and opens the window, still singing. That bit goes on too long, and it's great.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. And Lisa and Marge just staring blankly the whole time.
Just staring at him the whole time. It is a successful yard sale because they start selling Homer's old drugs.
Which is good.
Otto, the first one there, just rummaging through a giant cardboard box full of prescription bottles, being like, "Oh yeah, I need some of these and some of that," and buys a bunch of pain meds.
I don't know if you noticed it, but if you see that when the pills become the big thing, when they show who's at the rummage sale, the Springfield Rush Limbaugh character is there.
Oh, really?
This is around the time he got busted for illegally using opioids and stuff.
That's funny. I didn't catch that. But yeah, now they're selling a ton of shit at the yard sale, making plenty of money. Homer's driving after Bart, and he sees him on the side of the road and crashes through a guardrail, and then his car is doing the teeter-tottering thing on the edge of a cliff. And this joke goes on too long, but I didn't like it, where Homer's like begging Bart to lean on the back bumper so the car doesn't fall off the cliff, and when he does, Homer goes back to being mad at him, so Bart lets off the bumper, which makes Homer be meek and beg, and that goes on for several minutes. Not a fan. In the meantime, Marge gets arrested for selling drugs at the yard sale. Quimby comes by and takes her away. Homer got back on the road and drops Bart off at camp, and we reach what feels like a fork in the road moment where, like, if Homer leaves him at this camp, Bart's going to be a different person.
Yeah.
And as Homer's driving away, he's like, I miss rapscallion Bart. He doesn't want, as much as Bart's a pain in his ass, he doesn't want him to be a different person. So Homer goes back and picks up Bart, and
there's a good anticlimactic part where, like, because you expect, like, the headmaster to be, like, angry. It's like, well, your credit card declined, so yes, we were going to call you.
Yeah.
Like, please get him out of here.
And he's like, I'm taking you to Vegas, boy. And they go to Vegas. And then I liked this ending bit of Lisa coming into the living room carrying groceries, and she sets him down, and she's just like got a flat facial expression.
Yeah.
She hits the answering machine. The first is a call from Marge saying, I'm in jail. You got to come bail me out, Homer. And the second message is from Homer saying, I'm in jail in Las Vegas, and I don't know where Bart is. You got to come bail us out, Marge. And Lisa is just like dejected. She's like, Somehow, Maggie, I knew it would be just you and me. I'll go look for work tomorrow.
Yeah, going to work. Yeah, her finding a job is so good.
Yeah, I like that Lisa's just accepted, like, yeah, this is how I thought this would go.
This is eventually how this was always going to go.
Yeah. Not like my favorite episode or anything, but it was fine. It was decent.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
We get like the Bonanza Couch Gag. That must be new.
I think we've seen
Have
that
we?
before.
Oh, no shit.
I think
Okay.
it's been a long time, but I think we've seen that before.
There was a scene that was kind of off-putting where there's like a female cocktail waitress, but it has Bart's face, and she asks Homer if she wants to eat her shorts.
Yep.
That was not something I needed to see with my eyes.
Yeah, Homer's like daydreaming about how great Vegas is going to be, but then he starts seeing Bart everywhere in his daydream. You didn't need to see like femaled up Bart.
I was fine without
Gender
that.
swap Bart.
Right? Yeah. When I eat my shorts.
Oh.
No. Don't. Homer.
You're saying you don't want some lady to suggestively tell you to eat or your
Not if she
shirt
has my
shorts?
son's face.
That's fair. That's fair.
She has the face of my child.
I'm not here to judge.
If that's your kink, no, I can't get behind that. Like, don't sexually
judge for that
fantasize about your children.
Fair. Yeah.
Right? Thank you. I don't think I'm going out on the limb here.
No, I don't think so.
That was an okay episode.
It was fine. I really liked that Flanders singing bit, but outside of that, there was nothing in here that really got a hold of me.
Same here.
But we get a lot of like Homer and Lisa episodes, and not a lot of Homer and Bart.
Yeah,
ones.
good point. Yeah, because they have very few of them, just them together. Let's see how episode 12 treats us. My Fair Laddie. Episode begins with a new PE teacher walloping the kids at dodgeballs. The old teacher's going to become go from being a Mrs. to a Mister. Is going to teach what? Shop.
Miss Pommelhorse is going to transition and then come back as your new shop teacher.
So now they have a new Fayed teacher. Did you call it Fayed? Did you call it Jim?
Jim.
So we kind of went both. I've heard some people that say they'd never heard the term Fayed growing up. I remember hearing Fayed.
Yeah, I feel like I probably heard it a couple of times, but it was gym class.
Oh, interesting.
You know?
Okay, yeah.
We weren't a PE school for sure, because I've heard it called PE also.
Yep. It
was gym.
Fayed or Jim.
Yeah, you just want to play dodgeball or kickball.
And on that note, this teacher loves dodgeball. Basically, I think he's the only one playing, though. He just called bombardment.
Yeah, he just hits kids with dodgeballs.
Over and over and over again. And you mentioned it, like, what percentage of your gym class was dodgeball? That was like 40% for us.
Yeah, I'd say probably 30. Yeah. I'd say that a majority of our gym classes were kickball.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think our teacher just liked dodgeball because it was easy. Hey, go grab some balls, put them at the half line. You know what to do.
Yeah.
And then divvy up some teams. You guys play some dodgeball. Mm. What a life.
Right. The life of a gym teacher. Although, like, small schools, you're not just the gym teacher.
Yeah. You're driving bus or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also had a couple of years there where the gym teacher was one of the football coaches and he was the math teacher. And he was, like, a real hard ass. So, like, gym class wasn't fun for a couple of years there.
Oh, no shit. Yeah.
Yeah. When Mr. Hayes was running things.
How so? Just
like, he was, to his credit, trying to stay involved and not just be a fuck it, do kickball because it's easy.
Yep.
Like he was trying to teach you something and try, like, a lot of how many sit-ups can you do in a minute kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like outside of just the whatever that national presidential
fitness challenge. Yeah, now that I think about it, the first week or two of gym always sucked because it was like form running, I think it was called, or something silly like that. And then you always had to run the mile. The mile was always the big thing. But then after that, it was just kickball city.
Yeah, I think the mile was like a year-end thing for us.
We've discussed it farther. It was like with dodgeball, 40% of the people playing didn't move. They just stood in the back, hoped to get a glancing blow from a dodgeball, and just
catch one off a shoulder.
Calmly go walk over to the shelf and sit and talk with their friends.
Yeah.
You know, like.
We also played a ton of floor hockey at my school.
Oh, yes.
Before they got a new gym floor, and then no one could have fun on it.
Yeah.
But during the cold gray tiles gym floor days, we had a lot of fun playing hockey on it.
Some kid took a high stick to the face, and then I don't know if there was some litigious shit that happened, but we could no longer play floor hockey.
Kid took a high stick to the face 3 times every gym class when we were playing.
I can't remember what it was. There was something about it. They had to haul him to the hospital if he almost lost an eye or something. It was something a few grades above us, because I remember we all pouted when the floor hockey went away.
Yeah, we were like... I always chose to be goalie because it meant I didn't have to run and I could take punishment.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just taking fucking plastic puck slap shots all the time. And no one knew anything about goalie interference. So you would get upperclassmen just sprinting down the floor with the puck and then shoot it and then plow into you. A lot of that.
That's not how that's supposed to work.
No, that's a penalty.
Yeah. So the kids are not enjoying getting hit in the face over and over again. And then they cut to Homer managing to blow with the ass out of his pants while riding go-kart, which is such a great visual. And has a husky gent, I know the heartache of blowing, not so much the ass, more of the crotch.
I usually blow a crotch if I'm blowing anything. That's shit.
Let's get that audio. We need that.
There's your new ringtone.
Yeah. So Homer blows the crotch out of the ass out of his pants. Then, so Homer needs new, it's his classic iconic blue pants. We get this montage of Homer visiting the Pants District, which is so great.
Yeah.
It's just him forlornly walking with his head down, hands in his pockets, with all these like neon signs of places saying no blue pants.
Yeah. Including one, I think, that is called the Blue Pants Store. No, we don't have blue pants.
Yeah, you're right.
There was one like called Rainbow Pants, but underneath it said "Except Blue."
Yeah.
Like, I love dejected Homer not being able to find blue pants.
So it cuts back to gym class. Still, it just bombardment. Nelson has a line that says, "Do your worst. I'm drunk."
I wrote that down too, because all these kids are like fucking traumatized because every day they go to gym class and they get pummeled with dodgeballs by a grown man. Nelson, when it comes Nelson's turn to get hit, "Do your worst. I'm drunk." Oh, fuck, that was funny.
So Bart's plan is to make like a solid ice dodgeball. That's how they're going to get some repercussion there,
Yeah, he shows up with a frozen dodgeball.
Yeah, like that would kill somebody.
Yeah.
That's like getting shot with a cannonball.
He filled it with water and then froze it.
So that was the attempt, but it ends up flying out the window and destroying, which it would.
Yeah.
Destroying Willie's shack.
Poor Willie.
Yeah. So Willie is now, that was basically all he had. So Marge ends up taking in Willie since he's now homeless. And this is when it becomes a kind of a parody of My Fair Lady, which I've never seen.
Neither have I, but I assumed.
Yeah, so now Lisa has taken it upon herself to make Willie a proper gentleman. And the flip story is Homer now, he is determined to get some pants justice. Homer goes to the head of the pants mercantile industry and says he'll do everything he can to get blue pants popular again, because apparently they've fallen out of fashion.
Yeah, it's basically if I can drum up public interest in blue pants, will you make them again?
And then is the advertisement right in the middle of his goddamn forehead?
It's on the back of his head.
Big back bald of his head. Yeah, so now Homer's become a walking billboard for blue pants. And so during this, again, Lisa is making Willie a fancy boy, and it is working. The fancy Willie is revealed. It's silly. It's like an event that shouldn't be.
It's the science fair.
That's what it is.
It's like a fucking debutante.
Yeah,
ball.
like everyone's like in like tuxes and evening gowns.
Yeah.
And she introduces. She doesn't say it's Willie. She just brings him out, and he is just charming as all hell, very dignified. Of course, Krabappel wants to slam the hams with him. And Willie writes in his date book, "Boink slut."
Yeah.
So great.
He's like, "Oh, I can't wait to have dinner with you on the 12th," and opens his planner and just writes in all caps, "Boink slut."
God, I love Mrs. Krabappel.
Oh, God.
And then it turns out, because they're like, Skinner's like, well, it's shocking that Lisa didn't have a entrance into the science fair. Like, au contraire, my science project is, it's like whatever name she gave him.
G.K. Willington.
G.K. Willington. So it's the whole time that has been Groundskeeper Willie, and everyone is shocked and amazed and bravo, bravo, bravo. And Lisa is first place in the science fair. And then after that, it's like Willie's like, okay, it's time for my next lesson. It's like, lessons are over, Willie.
Yep.
You are who you are now. So they try to find something for Willie to do, because he's distraught, because it turns out they gave his groundskeeper job to the next lowest person on the totem pole, which was the music teacher.
Yep.
Cut to him with a tractor on the roof of the school.
Wearing overalls like he looks so fucking ridiculous.
So Willie ends up becoming the maitre d' at a fancy restaurant, because, again, he's very proper and dignified.
At the Golden Truffle. Not just any, but the fancy restaurant.
That is, yeah. I was just going to say. But it doesn't suit him, because he misses his dirtbag lifestyle, and the customers grate on him. And eventually, Krusty pushes him too far, and Willie brains him, like, turnbuckle bashes him into, like, the dessert tray over and over again. And Willie, then they've made him a new shack.
Yeah.
There's a new shack, Willie Shack.
Yeah, Willie Shack, yeah.
Yep. And they give him a little, like, cross-stitch home, sweet home. And he's like, oh, thanks. And then as soon as they're gone, he throws it down and smashes it, because Willie lives in trash.
Yeah. He's like, I liked it better before. I can't do a Scottish accent.
I don't even remember the Homer storyline.
It just wraps up with he got blue pants back again, and then he and Marge are in bed, and he takes his shirt off, and he has advertisements for all this other shit.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that story.
That's how, like, there's a great one. Like, well, yeah, I'm making $100 a week off this, except this one. This is just, it was eat Maine potatoes. Yeah. He just got a big sack of potatoes by the bed that he's eating.
He just takes a bite of raw in bed. What a bed snack.
Yeah, right?
Raw potatoes.
God. Yeah. Do you remember Susan Powder? I think her catchphrase was "Stop the Madness." She was a weight loss guru in the 90s. I know
that phrase, but I never knew where it came from.
White, I'm sure light blonde, almost white hair. She's very full energy, and she became like a weight loss Richard Simmons type.
Yeah,
I remember her saying that. It's just watching an infomercial of her in the 90s, and she said, "You can eat 32 baked potatoes for every one slice of cheese you eat."
That can't be true.
Like,
there's no way that's accurate.
What science is she using? How much money is she getting from Big Starch? That's what they don't want. I remember, like, so that was her thing. Like, they don't want you to know that, but if you want, you can eat as many baked potatoes as you want. Like, I just think the idea of someone lying in bed with a little microwave, just eating plain microwave potatoes. Beach body, here I come.
You think you could eat 32 potatoes in a day?
Oh,
32 baked potatoes.
Fuck, that's too many. No, I couldn't.
I think I could. Yeah. I think I could for sure.
Yeah.
I love baked potatoes, so I don't think I would get sick of them.
Yeah, you could do a lot with a baked potato too.
You can jazz it up in a bunch of different ways.
You can put on it. Yeah. Oh, that's too many taters.
Boy, I bet you'd feel like dog shit at the end of the day, man.
Oh my God, you feel like a human medicine ball.
You're also not the eater that I am. Yeah. Like I can fucking go for big hair with food.
How many baked potatoes could you eat in 1 half-hour sitting?
Half a dozen.
Okay,
I think. Let's go. Let's say 10.
10 taters?
Yeah,
ooh, that's a lot of taters.
That's a lot.
If you were really hungry.
I bet I would actually land somewhere in between 6 and 10.
There we go.
But I could strive for 10 and do 6 for sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you on there. I was going to guess your answer was going to be 8, so I was close.
Okay. Yeah. We're in an agreement on my hypothetical potato eating.
And I would have to put something on it.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
So I think I could do 5, maybe 6 even.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I was half an hour and I'm starving. Jesus, fuck, that's a lot of fucking potatoes now.
Potatoes are bigger than you think
Yeah,
they
right?
are, too.
Yeah. Well, I'm used to getting some garden potatoes. You get those ones that are size of a pool ball. You know?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
that's not...
those don't count.
No,
Yeah.
we're talking a fucking a russet.
GMO riddled.
Yeah, the size of a fucking 40-ounce bottle.
Another episode that was fine.
I liked this one, but I could have done without all the musical numbers because they're punking a musical, so you get a lot of musical numbers, which I could have done without.
Mean nothing to me.
But like, as far as the story, let's take Willie and shine him up and make a fucking proper fella out of him, only to have him rejected in the end. Sure,
that's a fine premise. Yep, and
totally.
Just like with like I'll never say, "Hey, this is too much Willie."
Yeah,
those are words I won't say too often. Like,
no such thing as too much Willie.
Yeah.
There was one line earlier that I really liked when he imagines his dad hollering at him when he's a newborn baby.
Yeah.
And the dad says, "You were born trash and you'll be lucky to grow up to be garbage."
Yeah.
It's so funny to
Jesus,
me.
Yeah.
I pretty desperately wish I could do a Scottish accent, and I can't.
And Willie's almost borderlines on parody. So if you don't do it well, it's just going to sound ridiculous.
Yeah. And then while he's all prim and proper, he's doing an English accent, which is. I remember watching. He either mentioned it on his show or I read it in his book. It might have been his book. Craig Ferguson talking about because he's Scottish, and he talks about how when he was on the Drew Carey show, he does that English accent, and he's like, to anyone who knows fucking anything, that's the worst English accent you've ever heard in your life.
Oh, no kidding. Interesting.
He's like, I don't know why they insisted I do an English one and why they accepted that as an English one.
Yeah, or why not just let him use his own
Let him be Scottish.
Most Americans wouldn't know. I probably wouldn't notice.
I like Craig Ferguson. I thought his late night show was horribly underrated.
Yeah, I've heard you say that, but I could count on one hand how many episodes I saw.
Yeah, and I like his book a lot.
You sure like Craig Ferguson.
I do.
I hope he appreciates that.
I'm a big Craig Ferguson guy.
Yeah.
Craigie Ferg, if you're listening, I got you.
Big mark for Craig Ferguson over here.
Episode number 13 is The Seemingly Never-Ending Story. My very first note is I don't think I've ever seen one of those movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think I ever have.
It's movie, plural, or singular.
There's for sure a part 2 or a part 3.
Fuck, is there?
I'm positive there's at least a 2.
If they did, they came out after the fact then, because like I was a mark for the first one. I was the right age.
Yeah.
It was on HBO all the time when I was a little kid. Some intense shit for like a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
There's some pretty wild stuff going on in those
I think
movies.
the horse doesn't make it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, there's a horse killing scene.
That's the thing people point to.
Yeah, and just,
To me, Atreyu is a band, not a character in the never-ending story.
So I remember, if you wanted me to explain the plot, I couldn't, but yeah. A kid goes on an adventure.
All of those movies were just slightly too old for me when I was a kid, so I had to come back to them afterwards. Like Labyrinth, the same way.
Yeah.
I had to come to in adulthood.
I never somehow, and I am the right age for that shit. Maybe slightly too young, but Labyrinth I never saw. What I do remember seeing as a kid is Dark Crystal.
I also didn't see that one.
And I was little enough, it kind of spooked me.
Okay.
Like scary crab monsters in it or something. Like I was also a boy that was easily shook.
Yeah, likewise. I was a frightful boy.
For a couple of frightful boys.
I think I saw Beastmaster when I was like 7, and I was like, nope, this is too, I don't like this.
Too much.
Not into this.
I don't like these beasts, even if he is the master.
I don't care for the master either. I'm going to go play Nintendo.
I don't know the lay of the art. Just 5 or 6 big steps and just plop on your butt and then loll over to your side.
I'm going to go play Mario. Lakitu doesn't scare me.
Yeah. And then it does.
Oh, no! He's on a cloud.
Bump, 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 you go up the stairs. Oh no, Beastmaster! Up to the attic. Oh no, ghosts!
Just scared of Lakitu. It's such a funny childhood fear. He's on a cloud with a fishing pole. He throws spikies at you.
Well, Marlon's gonna sleep in the car again tonight.
Oh God. The Simpson family is visiting a cave, which is also something I've never done.
Oh, the very few family things we ever did. We went to the Black Hills once, and we went in a cave.
Went caving.
Yeah. Took a cave walk.
Looked at some rocks.
There's a lot of rocks down there.
I'll bet.
Boy, if you like rocks, you'll love caves.
I'm not really a rock guy, but I believe that you had fun.
I was just geeked to be out of the trailer park.
Oh, sure.
Look, that's something I haven't seen before. Look at that thing. I haven't seen that before.
I remember being a kid and going to the Dinosaur Museum in Dickinson when it was still new.
Oh.
And going in there and like they got all these dinosaur fossils and stuff. And then there's a room of naturally luminescent crystals. Like these are rocks that glow. And you go in this dark room. And I remember going in there and being like, there's fucking dinosaurs out there. You idiots are going to stare at shiny rocks?
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to the Triceratop again.
Oh, man, I would have loved something like that. Like,
you never been?
Nope.
You should go.
Nope.
I think it's still there.
I was a dinosaur boy, too. Holy moly.
I don't think you have to grow out of dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are still rad, no matter how old you are.
It's hard to wrap your brain around dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to be it right now. They can just be in your parking lot flipping cars over. Just fucking, what are you going to do? Just shoot me with what? You got a rocket launcher?
That's why those fucking movies were so good. Even the ones that are bad, you're like, look at the fucking dinosaur.
Yeah. Like I've talked about this. I had a buddy my roommate that used to get stoned and just get afraid of dinosaurs again. It's like, man, if a fucking brontosaurus was real, it would just like, you could put its head through the wall and it'd be the whole room would be the brontosaurus's head. What the fuck would we even do? It's just like, I don't know how to assuage your fears here, man. Like, first off, I think you're safe. I think enough time has passed. Brontosauruses are not and hey, they are herbivores, man.
Yes, also herbivores.
They will eat that plant that someone made the mistake of giving us that's dying and take that plant out of its misery, then it'll just dip out, man. It ain't gonna eat you.
I love this character who has a irrational fear of dinosaurs that flares up when he's high.
Yep, and that was, I think, twice at least. I remember that coming up.
That's amazing to me. I love that so much.
You never know, though. You got to be vigilant. They could come back.
You got to write him into something.
Yeah. He's also the guy that took mushrooms one time when we were having a party and sheepishly asked me if I'd seen his arm. And I was like mixing a drink in the kitchen. I'm like, pardon me? And you could tell he was nervous and talking in hushed tones because he didn't want anyone else to hear. It's like, I got to work tomorrow, man. I got to have both arms. And I realized he wasn't joking. I was like, I'll keep an eye out for you. And you just like a weight was, oh, thanks, man.
Oh, thanks.
And then the rest of the night when he was still off his fucking tits, I would see him just casually like look behind the couch or like look behind still keeping an eye out because he was missing an arm in his head. So
I love that he was still with it enough to be sly about it.
But worrying about work the next day too. That's what I like. Yeah. Like.
Not how am I going to live my life, right. But how am I going to work tomorrow?
I think in his head it could just be clack back on, like
he just had to find it.
Yeah, just like a Lego, yeah.
God damn it. Drugs. So we're going in this cave. Homer destroys this giant stalactite, which like opens up a cavern in the ground, and the whole family is stuck underground now in this cave. Homer, of course, stuck like Winnie the Pooh, stuck in the ceiling. Marge, Maggie, and Bart go off to find help. Lisa stays with stuck Homer because he doesn't want to be left alone, and Lisa tells him a story. And I don't want to spoil anything, but I fucking like this episode.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Lisa sits down to tell him a story. She She starts her story by, well, I was out in the forest and she runs into a bighorn sheep, this huge fucking ram that chases her into Burns' manor. Her and Burns are in the manor running away from this fucking ram. At one point, Burns exclaims, "Good Lord, a woolly bully," which I really laughed hard at. We get a lot of Burns in this, which I like. They escape. The fucking ram destroys his home. They escape up into the attic, and they find up in the attic amongst all of the forgotten knickknacks a photo of Burns being Employee of the Month at Moe's.
Yeah. I'm going to, again, I don't give spoiler alerts. I don't know if I got a lot of laughs out of this, but God, it was such a good story.
Yeah. I really love clever storytelling.
Yeah.
And this
we
is
get a
very
little bit
clever.
of this. Yeah.
Because Lisa's like, "What's this? You worked at Moe's?" And now it becomes Burns' story.
Yeah.
In a very Inception-esque dream within a dream.
Nested storytelling is perhaps the term.
Yeah, like the Russian nesting dolls. So Burns tells us the story about how he ended up being Employee of the Month at Moe's. He was in a scavenger hunt against the Texas oil man who was bullying him.
With the Excluders Club, with all these rich people.
Yeah.
And I know the guy that was the judge of like the scavenger hunt, he is from another cartoon or something.
I figured that he was from a comic
like
strip or something. He doesn't look like he's from The Simpsons.
Yeah, he's from something else.
So Burns and the Texas oil man are going to participate in this scavenger hunt. They show him each checking off all the things on the list. And all that Burns needs is a picture of him with a smiling child, but he can't get one because he's Burns and he's a ghoul.
It's the boogeyman's grandpa, is that what they said?
Yeah, that's what Milhouse shouts when he's on the bus. But the oil man gets one, and he wins all of Burns's possessions, including the power plant. Yeah. So Burns narrating the story is like, so then I had to start back at the bottom, and he got a job working at Moe's.
I think it describes, I'd have to start working at Moe's before I could reach the bottom. Like, working at Moe's is below the bottom.
Below rock bottom, yeah. So he's like mopping the floor, and the regulars are all dealing him shit. They're being dicks to Mr. Burns. And he lifts up the jar of pickled eggs to find a note from Moe. And now it becomes Moe's story. Yeah. Because Moe is relaying the story about this note. So now Moe is the narrator. And he tells about when he first met Edna Krabappel the first day she came into town.
Right off the bus.
Yeah. She gets off the bus and meets Moe. She hates bars and taverns, so Moe lies to her about being a therapist. Yeah. And he closes his bar and he's dating Edna and everything's going great. And then in walks, they're going to go start a new life, Moe and Edna are. And so Moe's like, how am I going to afford that? How do I get the money to start a new life? When in through the door walks Snake. Yeah. As Indiana Jones.
Professor Snake.
Basically. Yeah.
Professor Jailbird.
Yeah. He's like an archaeologist. And he had found this bag of gold coins that he wants to donate to the museum. Moe lies and tells him that the museum is closed so that they can dust under the wangs on the statues. So Snake is staying next door. Moe can't resist, and he sneaks into the motel room and steals Snake's gold coins, which creates Criminal Snake. We see him have his moment of like
supervillain moment.
Yeah, I'll take my revenge on society and convenience stores. And then so Moe and Edna, they're all packed up. They're ready to leave. She just needs to stop at the school and let them know that she's not going to be a teacher there. And then it becomes Edna's story because she goes into the school and meets a hopeless Bart who's like, I'll never pass fourth grade. And then she gets gung-ho about helping the youth because she's still young and idealistic. And she tells Moe that she can't go with him to start a new life. She has to stay and teach Bart. And so Moe takes all of those gold coins that he had and spends them on the jukebox playing their song while he drinks and cries, which is Fly Me to the Moon, which is a great song.
Yeah.
I don't really think of it as like a breakup song. That's like a happy song.
Yeah.
So Moe spends all of those gold coins on the jukebox, and now it kind of reverts back to Burns's story. They do the visual of like zooming in and zooming out of thought bubbles. Burns breaks open the jukebox, steals all the coins, and buys all his stuff back from the Texas oil man, except the power plant. The oil man won't give him back the power plant until he can get a photo with him and a smiling child. And we zoom back out to where Lisa and Burns are in the attic looking at the photo of him working at Moe's. The Ram breaks into the attic and smokes Mr. Burns, who steps in front of Lisa to save Lisa. But it turns out the Ram was just trying to give Lisa's necklace back. And then it becomes the Ram's story for a second of him walking through the woods and seeing this necklace and picking it up. And then it goes right back to Lisa's. It doesn't stay in the Ram story for very long. So he gives Lisa back the necklace and then trots out of the mansion. Lisa is super appreciative that Burns took one for her. She takes a smiling photo with Burns, and he gets his power plant back. And then it goes back to this. Turns out Homer has a story. Homer gets out of because we're back now. The whole family is back in the cave because they couldn't find a way out. Lisa's wrapped up her story, and now Homer gets unstuck from the roof and has a story of his own, which is that he saw the oil man coming down here with a bag of gold coins that he stashed in the cave, so that's why Homer brought the family to the cave, so that they could look for the Texas oil man's
steal
money.
from the Texas oil man.
And then everyone shows up. There's a standoff with Moe and Burns and the oil man and Snake all pointing guns at each other, except Moe, who just has a bat but stays in the fight.
It's like, wait, you guys got guns?
Marge tries to defuse it. She's like, look at you being so ugly about money. I'll throw it down this pit. And does.
Yeah.
And everyone is appreciative except Burns, which I like.
Climb down in there.
Yeah, he's trying to climb down into the chasm in order to get his gold coins back. And then we zoom out one more level. This is all Bart telling a story to Skinner about why he was late or why he missed school, one or the other. And then we wrap it up.
A very fun story.
A hard one to relay.
There's a lot of
hard to I hope we didn't just lose everybody, but that's as good as I could do.
One of the gags, a sight gag that goes by pretty quick, is when Burns and the Texas oil man are doing their scavenger hunt. It's Smithers and Burns with a carload of shit. If you notice, Frank Grimes' tombstone is back there.
That was one of the scavenger hunt things. Yep. That was fun.
Going to see Grimesy getting a reference there.
We get one every so often, but not very.
Yeah.
I liked that episode a lot. I like that kind of off-the-wall storytelling. Like, see also the Seinfeld earlier episode that's like in reverse.
Yep.
And then C-Lab did the same thing. Like, I like those kind of episodes. Give me a clever, weird one every so often.
If you can't make me laugh my ass off, at least be clever.
Yep. I'm always saying that.
Yep, right? Yeah. God damn it, enough is enough. Perplex me.
Yeah, if you can't make me laugh, make me think.
On your Tinder profile, likes to be perplexed.
Yeah, enjoys a good befuddling. Yeah. Which sounds like a sex act, so it wouldn't look out of place on a Tinder profile. My ideal woman can perplex me to the point of being gobsmacked. Can you perplex me till I'm gobsmacked.
So we are up to episode 14. Bart has two mommies, which is a great title. I like that. Bart has two mommies. Oh, too many mommies.
Too many mommies. It's my favorite Adult Swim short.
Yeah. So the episode starts off, they're raising money for a new steeple for the church. and they're gonna raffle off a fancy new lady computer.
Yeah. The FemMac.
The FemMac. As I was saying, I knew it had a name that would signify that. And what the plan is everyone's going to have a rubber ducky. You put your number on it and you float it down the creek. Whoever passes first place is the winner.
Which I've never seen, but I bet is a real thing.
See, I remember a classic county fair game being to be a little like cut in half PVC pipe of like water, and then there's just ducks floating. Every kid gives a buck.
Pick one.
Pick a duck.
Yeah.
And everyone, and your number equals a prize. And it was always a horseshit prize because no one lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You could only have winners. You couldn't have someone win nothing.
Yeah.
But you could have someone win more than someone else.
It's like, my duck says 11. My duck says 4. My duck says fuck face. That's right, kid.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, fuck face.
I hope that nickname sticks.
All the county fair board staff is calling the kid that. You don't even work for the carnival.
You're my friend's dad. Why are you hollering?
You're just on the fair board. So Homer really wants to win. He's got his duck number 2.
Yeah.
He's giving it angry eyebrows because it's
fun.
Very intense. And despite his best efforts, he tries so many things to cheat and they backfire. There's a good at the end where his duck gets in with a bunch of ducklings following a mama duck. He just jumps into the creek, grabs his duck and throws it. It turns out he threw a real duckling.
Yep.
So his duck is God knows where. So who should win the contest? Our old friend Ned Flanders. And Ned walks by Marge and Homer in their car, and he's like, hey, I don't need a computer. If you need it, Marge, it's yours.
I like that he's like, all those strangers Googling each other makes my skin crawl.
Of course.
And like Ned is afraid of the internet because, of course, he is.
And Marge is like, hell yeah, thank you, but like, I got to be able to help you, pay you back in some way. And the deal they come up with is there's a left-handed convention coming in, and as the owner of the Leftorium, he has to be there and make an appearance. We get a Randy Johnson appearance. We're not at the left-handed conference long. We're at the
the convention.
Yeah.
We do get Randy Johnson's left-handed teddy bears.
Yeah. He only made doctors like that. Oh, I'd love to get a dentist. It's only doctors. How many would you like to order? They come in boxes of 1,000.
I love that he's just bullying Ned.
Yeah, I'll take one.
I guess one box then? You and I got a problem.
Yeah.
I love that Randy Johnson's a jerk.
Yeah.
Is Randy Johnson hitting the bird with the pitch?
Yep, that's Randy Johnson.
The best highlight of all time.
Oof, tough to beat.
The best sports. It's at least the best sports blooper. Like, you can argue that there's sports clips of someone achieving something amazing, but like, boy, Randy Johnson hitting a bird with a ball and that bird exploding.
The 1 in a million of
way
that.
more than that.
Yeah, like
way more than a million.
To hit the bird, that's insane. To hit the bird flush and that bird disintegrates. It's just feathers. That body turns to ash, apparently. It's just those feathers. It's nuts that worked out the way it did.
It's amazing. There's no way that should have ever happened.
And then is it technically a ball? Has to be, right?
I would assume so.
Could a runner have taken second there if they wanted to? Probably. What a weird chance to steal.
Yeah.
Because he had a fucking foul interference.
Literally foul.
The only thing I can think of is the ump called time.
Which I bet is what happened.
That was a ball. We're calling time. No one can run because I don't know what happened to how the hell did you find the baseball and all those feathers? Like that's they don't. You really got to get to your master's level ump school. Like when you have to deal with wildlife interference.
Amazing. Just like I can watch that. I bet I've watched that clip well over 100 times.
If you haven't seen it, treat yourself.
That bird explodes.
So ridiculous. So Marge is over at the Flanders' house to watch Rod and Todd. The boys are absolute duds, which we saw coming. But they slowly warm to Marge, and Marge slowly warms to them.
Yep.
Like, we get some gags, nothing spectacular, but they're good. Just like showing how big a weenies Rod and Todd are. But
I think we get a lot of good gags. Them with their, how about a sitting still contest?
and like, why doesn't Marge just let them do that?
Right.
But because she takes being a babysitter seriously, and she wants to interact with them.
Yeah, she wants to have fun.
And she kind of does at the end, because that leads to her watching the boys more often, which in turn means Homer has to watch Lisa and Bart more, which is not good for Lisa and Bart. And I don't know if he's guilted into it, or maybe Lisa talks him into it. They end up going to like a sanctuary for old Hollywood animals, which is super depressing. All these animals, because like one of them's like, I thought they'd be like having like it fun, not all just crammed into kennels, like. Oh my God.
I liked Babe the Pig was a fun one.
He's got
just this hog. Just this full-grown, filthy hog.
It's like sharp teeth.
Yeah, like clearly didn't have his teeth clipped in youth. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Oh God, that was funny.
Yeah. And they end up, and there's kind of like a tour guide, I believe, kind of explaining this.
Yeah.
And what's the name of the monkey? Is it Toot Toot?
Toot Toot.
Toot Toot. Was a famous monkey from Hollywood days, and Toot Toot is in a pen. Toot Toot's sad. Like the announcer's like, all of Toot Toot's babies are in show business. Like that should be something to be proud of.
Yeah.
But Toot Toot is not excited about this. And Bart, seeing that Toot Toot is sad, offers Toot Toot some ice cream. And Toot Toot takes that chance to grab Bart by the arm, drag him into the cage, and now Bart is Toot Toot's baby. And that becomes a big part of the episode. Yeah, right. So a lot of this is now how we get part away from Toot Toot. But Toot Toot is nice to Bart. He ain't going anywhere. Because Bart is her baby. Marge convinces Ned that the boys need to take more risks, because Ned comes back and he sees a Band-Aid wrapper, and that just sends him into a conniption fit,
losing it.
Yeah. I can't remember the joke, but it's something very mild that led to the cutting,
Cut his finger on a card on Christian Clue.
That's what it was.
Christian Clue. And he paper cut himself. And Ned flips out and is like, go to your rooms. And they go running up the stairs. He goes, you crawl up those stairs so we don't have another nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, Ned.
And Marge, rightfully so, tries to level with Ned. It's like, your boys are going to struggle if you don't let them take some, which they are. And
your boys are too soft.
Yeah, and she convinces them to convinces Ned to let Marge take them to kind of like a adventure zone, like those.
Yeah, some manner of roughhouse indoor park.
Lots of trampolines. Everything's padded. That kind of become a bigger thing in the last 10 years, too. You see them around. Even Fargo's got a couple. And Ned, kind of against his better judgment, decides to do that. And the boys do have fun. They're into it.
They're having a blast.
What will happen to kids? One of the boys chips a tooth.
Which is Ned's fault.
Yeah.
Like, Rod was climbing up the rock wall and having fun, and then Ned comes and freaks out and is like, you're gonna fall! And then Rod freaks out and smashes his face on the wall.
Yeah, he falls and he chips his tooth. So now Ned's about as mad as you'll ever see Ned. So Marge is forbidden from the boys. And in the chimp story, they've tried a bunch of different things to get Toot Toot to hand over Bart. Eventually the cage doors open, which Toot Toot just takes a chance. We're leaving this cage with my baby Bart, and ends up climbing to the brand new church steeple. And it's like, well, how the hell?
King Kong style.
Yep, King Konging it up here. So what are they going to do about that? Everyone doesn't know. The pastor's there. Everyone's looking up there, and Lisa is the one that comes up with the idea of bringing Krusty's chimp,
Mr. Teeny,
who is Toot Toot's son. Well, we could just exchange the two of them, but how are you going to get up there? And there is a cut earlier in the episode, too, where Rod and Todd are just kind of down in the dumps, And Ned asks, "What's wrong, boys?" And it's like, "Well, we miss Marge, because we got to have not church fun, but real fun."
Yeah,
that's a thing.
That's such a good thing. Not church fun, real fun.
So now there's all this drama at the church. So of course the Flanderses are there because they're big church people, and they're trying to figure out how do we get Mr. Teeny up there. And without even being asked, Rod does it. Rod puts Teeny in a backpack type thing and climbs, which. A very harrowing climb, the scaffolding around a steeple.
Yeah, I'm not a heights guy, so. And
then he gets up there. It's a little bit kind of touch and go. It's very high up in the air. But Mr. Teeny jumps out of the bag. Of course, Toot Toot is overjoyed, forgets about Bart, and they crawl down, and all is right with the world.
Yeah.
And my God damn it, if we don't get a Maude Flanders appearance now, I knew it was coming. I knew she got to do Maude's voice again.
Yeah, I had heard that also, but I was still like taken aback, like, oh, look at this,
right there she
Maude
is
in heaven. That was a fun little ending.
Yeah,
I love the. Like way earlier in the episode where Marge is kind of seeing how these two boys live and the fucking sight gag of the fact that Ned has chalked up their teeter-totter to where it doesn't go back and forth and they just sit across from each other on a perfectly level teeter-totter. And then she's like, you guys deserve a little fun, and takes the chalks, is that what those are called? Takes those out, and to watch their feet dangle and then panic like,
they let out that Flanders boy noise.
Boy noise. Holy shit, there's something about those two words next to each other.
And they start teetering, and then the boy noise just dissipates, and all of a sudden they're having fun. You know,
that was a fun bit. I liked that one.
Yeah, it was fine.
I didn't love the monkey part of it, but I really liked I liked getting to see Rod and Todd because they're such fucking wet blankets.
Yeah, I agree. Like, there's something about them, like. And I just like a Flanders centric. One thing I'll say about this batch, this might be the fewest laughs I've had in a while.
Sure.
Like, the stories have been okay, but just the laughs themselves have been a little bit lacking.
Yeah, there have been a handful. Nelson earlier shouting, "Do your worst, I'm drunk," goes a long way. One last one, episode 15, Homer Simpson, This Is Your Wife. Possibly my least favorite episode of the whole bunch. We're having a party at Lenny's.
Very nice place.
Yeah, Lenny has a hell of a pad. I like seeing Lenny. He's throwing a party because he bought a plasma TV, which I was kind of wondering when we would have an episode of The Simpsons that is real heavy into like technology as it comes up.
With the sea change in televisions in the mid to early aughts.
And we haven't gotten a like new piece of technology centric episode in a long time, probably since Homer was like made his own website in that episode like 6 seasons ago.
Yeah. Can you still buy a plasma screen TV?
I bet not.
Like we're past that now.
If you can, I bet it's like you got to really look for one.
Yeah.
Plasmas fell out of favor pretty quickly.
What was the downfall there compared to LEDs or LCDs?
They don't have the refresh rate, and they
burn.
They pixel burn.
And if I remember, they're even heavier.
Yes.
Yep.
They're horrible for games because you're like video games, because like your life bar burns into your television.
Good call.
Like anything stationary.
Yeah.
I remember my buddy had a plasma TV when we were living together, and it was like, I forget which Grand Theft Auto game it would have been, probably 4 when that came out. And like we played it fucking day and night, and sure as shit, like a life bar and the mini map in the corner were just there for the rest of that TV's existence.
I had a friend whose sister went to like a You Rent to Own or a Rax Rent-A-Center.
Sure.
I think she roughly paid was like $3,200 when it was all said and done for a 23-inch plasma screen TV. Had to get that hot tech. Couldn't wait a year. You know,
got to be an early adopter.
Like, Nowadays on Black Friday, you can get a 60-inch TV for like $1.50.
Yeah.
Like, just absurd. Like,
For two canned goods to give to the local food pantry, they'll give you a TV.
yep. Like, I love seeing on Craigslist people trying to sell old TVs. Mm-hmm. You literally have to put it 1/10 of the price you paid it. Like, no one's gonna buy that old TV when new ones are at giveaway prices.
Yeah. Like there's a niche market for CRT TVs,
Which I love that they're
for old gamers.
Yep.
Yeah, because they it just works better. Like it's more because there's horrible input lag if you hook a Nintendo up to a new TV.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have a friend that if he sees one of those on the free thing on Craigslist or on Facebook, goes and picks it up. It's like, I'm going to keep burning through these. I plan on living a while. I like to play video games.
They've gotten to the point where like most people will just throw an LCD or an LED, like a modern screen, into one, but CRTs were pretty sought after by arcade machine owners for a long time too, because they wanted that real shit. We want scan lines, but now fucking people just throw a fucking LCD in there and be done with it.
It's a damn shame is what it is.
Homer, is it a shame? Keep giving me that new shit. I want the next thing. Homer, of course, loves the plasma TV and won't leave Lenny's apartment. Just sits on his couch drinking beer. He's clearly unwashed and gross.
Yeah, very gross. Very, very gross.
At one point, the kids even join him, but eventually Lenny finally gets him chased out of his apartment by throwing matches at him.
Yeah, just a good way to get someone out of your house.
I would leave.
Yeah, right.
If I were in your house and you were throwing lit matches at me, I would take off. Now Homer, of course, is sitting at home hating his television.
Yeah.
And I remember those days. I remember going to my buddies who had an HD TV and me thinking, this doesn't look that different. And then going home and being like, man, fuck this TV that I have. I hate this stupid TV. Like, I wasn't always wanting to have the newest shit, but like I remember when it happened. My buddy Brady got an HD TV and I was like, it doesn't look that different. We're watching football or something. And then I went home and I was like, fuck, this looks awful.
Really? Obviously, for me, it's just more they're easy to move. I mean,
they also look way different, man.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know, like when I'm watching football, I can just stare at it. I was just at a bar that still had a big old projection screen. I'm
nice.
Like, look at this shit, the size of a fucking Chevy Malibu, just taking up real estate. If I sat and watched the whole game, didn't even really notice.
Projection TV or a pull down?
No, projection TV.
Okay,
like the big base with the
yeah. Man. I had a buddy had one of those, like an early 1080 projection screen.
Oh, really?
So like as good a screen as mine, except rear projection.
Yeah.
And that was I bet he fucking still has that TV.
It is a job of 10 men, 10 hardy men to move that TV.
It's like carrying a coffin.
Yeah, right. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, maybe even more unwieldy because they don't have any handles.
Yeah, there's
on it,
fewer places to grab.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving a fucking big TV is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
My TV's 55. I can pick it up with one hand.
Think of that, yeah.
So Lenny finally gets him out. Now Homer hates his television and wants a plasma TV. Marge enters him in a contest to win a plasma TV. No elaboration on what kind of contest this is. We get a fun dig at Family Circus, which I thought of you right away, being the comic strip guy. Homer's like, he cuts a thing out of a newspaper and glues it in a scrapbook, and he's like, there we go, my complete collection, 40 years of Family Circus. And he looks at the comic that he just glued in and just shrugs, closes the scrapbook, and throws it in the fireplace. I like when they like rip on comic strips for no fucking reason.
We hadn't had one in a while.
Yeah. Well, I think we got a Hagar the Horrible joke like last batch that we didn't mention.
Yeah, you're right though.
But like I do vaguely remember like I'm not getting a newspaper subscription until you bring back Hagar the Horrible. Well, that's not really up to me.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Oh my God.
I always think of you when I think of comic strips.
To give a shit enough about Hagar the Horrible that's a line in the sand.
Yeah. To just be like, nope.
I gotta read my Hagar. God, comic strips are an amazing thing. Every morning for decades on end.
Yeah. The funny pages.
Some guy has to send in his, what did this talking cat do today? What did Kathy do? Did Kathy look in the mirror and she doesn't look like how she looks in a swimsuit? So she goes, ack. That was always the Kathy noise.
Yep, ack.
Yeah.
ACK. Is Garfield the most successful comic strip, or is it Peanuts?
I think it might be Peanuts, but Garfield, financially, probably Garfield.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
But I'd say Peanuts culturally.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
Yeah.
I bet if you polled 100 people, if you did the Family Feud thing and polled 100 people and asked them to name a comic strip, I bet the winner is Peanuts.
Boy, I'd like to see that Family Feud, because what one or two rando ones would get a vote?
Would also get in there.
Yep.
I think Peanuts and Garfield are 1 and 2.
Yeah, by a fucking light year.
And then is it Beetle Bailey?
Oof.
Dilbert?
Dilbert, maybe.
Dilbert got his own cartoon.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Calvin
there'd be
and
a few
Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, I bet it would be Calvin and Hobbes.
Because while Calvin Hobbes was never really commercialized, never had merch, it was so beloved that it would be.
The people who, like, I have friends who are my age or older who fucking love Calvin and Hobbes.
I fucking love them eating.
Like, I think it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, really? See,
I don't.
I was, yeah.
But, like, they have, like, emotional attachments.
Yeah, I was never that
Calvin
way.
Hobbes.
Yeah. Maybe 1 or 2 randos would say Far Side, too. Far Side was so
has a real
unique
following, yeah.
that the people that like it really like
Once
it.
you get into a certain age, you'd get people saying Dennis the Menace, I bet, too.
Oof,
You don't think so?
They are old.
They are old
they
people,
Are
yeah.
boring people. But yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Just funny that they wouldn't have. Yeah, because Peanuts wasn't. Peanuts was a different style of comic strip. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was dark sometimes, kind of, sad.
Yeah.
Like Dennis the Menace is always just light and airy. Like.
And also at a certain age, I don't think of the Peanuts as a comic strip. I think of the Peanuts as a cartoon.
Yeah. Christmas specials and whatnot.
I bet Garfield is the same for a lot of people.
Oh my God, yeah.
I bet people think of the show.
Yep.
No one, I don't think, thinks of Dilbert the show before they think of Dilbert the comic strip.
God, yeah, I forgot he had a short-lived animated show.
Pretty sure it was 1 season.
Yeah. And I like that comic strip. That comic strip used to make me laugh.
Yeah, never had any issues with Dilbert.
I'll laugh at a Dilbert. I don't give a fuck.
We've gotten way off the road here.
Oh, this isn't a Dilbert podcast?
It can be.
Yeah.
You want to do a Dilbert episode? We can review the whole show. It's like 1 season.
Yeah, we could, for our Patreon viewers, list what failed animated shows you want us to discuss.
I had a roommate in college who had that on DVD and was excited when it came out.
Interesting, really.
Like, oh God, they did put it out. Thank God. That was during the early aughts gold rush of TV on DVD.
Yeah. Oh man, what a time to make some money. Mm-hmm. Someone made a killing on that shit.
Print anything on a DVD and put it in a big blocky thing to put on your DVD shelf.
Yeah.
And these puds will fucking buy it.
Gobble it up.
So Homer doesn't win a plasma TV, but he wins the third prize, which is a tour of Fox Studios. Homer signs the family up for one of these wife swap shows. I think it's called Mother Flippers, which was pretty funny. Yeah. I've never been a reality TV show watcher.
There's a few, but I'm for the most part not.
Yeah.
I do have a question about this strain of reality. I've only known of Celebrity, but it probably started off as not Celebrity.
I feel like most start off normal and then go Celebrity.
Yep. So, but I only know of the Celebrity ones.
Yeah, there's been at least 2 probably, like Trading Spouses.
Yep.
Is one, and I don't know what any of the
I think one was. I think the OG was Wife Swap.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, Wife Swap was. And now that I think about, there were, because I think a couple of them went viral with like this crazy lunatic mom who like thought everything was a devil or something like that. So.
Well, hell, like the Chappelle Show did a parody of that. All those that's been fucking 15 years ago now, where That's where who the hell's Renee Zellweger?
Yeah.
Like that's a skit making fun of those shows.
You're right.
Yeah, where they have to swap wives like with the black dude and then Dave Chappelle's white dude.
Yeah.
Which I love Dave Chappelle's white face guy.
That was always a treat when he'd do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, these have been around a long fucking time. That was probably on around the time this was on. 05, 06.
Yeah. Yep.
So that must have been the hotbed for these. They meet the family that they're going to swap moms with, and they are the Heath Bars, which is a great name.
Yep.
And a pretty stuffy Britishy couple.
Yep.
The husband, Charles, played by Ricky Gervais, very obviously.
Yeah, I'm just going to say they...
Like, it even looks like him.
Yeah.
To the point where before he spoke, I thought, I bet that's Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, and he really gets his chance to kind of eat up some scenery.
And he does.
He talks a lot.
I go back and forth on Ricky Gervais. Like, I don't care for his I don't know if you can call it stand-up, but his stand-up I don't really care for. And like I like him sometimes in things. I think The Invention of Lying is a very underrated movie.
I have seen so few of his projects.
Okay.
But like he has a smugness that sometimes drives me the wrong way.
Yeah.
But then he likes, I think the Brits would say, take the piss out of.
Yeah.
So he's not afraid to rub people the wrong way, which I get a kick out of too.
He'll go hard.
Yeah.
And I've seen a handful of his Office, like the British Office, which is probably his first big thing that he had.
Yeah.
And like it's fine. I don't like the American Office. So
hot take alert.
Is that? Yes, I hate.
Oh my God.
I hate that's a hot take.
That is
that's not a good show.
You are a man in your 30s? That is a hot take for someone of your generation.
Yeah. Try being someone who doesn't like The Office, trying to date people.
Yeah, right? Oh my God.
You know who loves The Office?
White women that are 36 to 42.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty slim pickings out here.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to scroll through my Tinder and like try to find someone who isn't the outdoorsy type and doesn't like The Office, they're not real.
You're just going to date suicide girls.
Which, hey.
Right. Yeah.
I like tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably like The Office too. They're all white.
Nothing makes me realize how little I have in common with the other people who live here than being on Tinder.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't...
Fish.
A lot of fish.
Yeah, a lot of fish.
A lot of hiking and country music and Jesus. I'm like, I don't like any of those things.
A lot of lakes.
Yeah.
I know how much you love lakes.
Like, it's a joke. Like, it's a hacky joke about how, like, oh, every guy has a photo with him with a dead fish, like, holding a fish.
Yeah.
Fucking every woman's profile is a woman holding a fish.
They don't. Yeah, there is an alarming amount of women holding fish.
Yeah.
Or just 75% of their pictures. I guarantee this is a whole outside of the metropolitan areas of the U.S. I bet this is just everywhere. 70% of their pictures, they're adorned in the football colors of the local college football. I bet I certainly know that's a Southern thing. If you're an Alabama girl, you got all your Alabama gear.
Roll Tide.
You're a Georgia Bulldog, you got that orange and black or whatever they are. And that's such a big deal, you know, like.
Yeah, it's fucking dismal.
And I'm like, fuck local football. I hope it's fun for you. I hope you have fun. It ain't a passion of mine, and I would struggle to want to start a family with someone whose life's goal is to get blackout drunk at 10 a.m. before a football game.
I think if you're trying to start a family, I don't know that Tinder is the spot for you to be on, but I get what you're saying.
Some kind of government program. Got to get our numbers up.
Fucking every goddamn photo you look at is just like, here's me with a fish, and here's me and all my friends at the NDSU football game.
Yeah. Luke Bryant, whoop whoop.
Yeah, here's me at a country music festival. It's like... here's me swiping left because I'm not into it.
Yeah. The one I love too is like, I hope you're not here to play fucking games. I don't care about if you're a snake or this or that and this and that, and I'm gonna kick you to the curb. I don't have time to mess around. I'm like, boy, you just seem like a barrel of sunshine.
Yeah, you're just a bundle.
I cannot wait. Oh, can I meet you in person? I bet it's even better. It's like, listen, you've made horrifying decisions for the first half of your adult life.
And that's not my fault.
That is not my fault. I do not need to help you unpack all of that trauma. So
I love my 8 kids and Jesus Christ. And I'm like, okay, all right, lady. I hope you enjoy driving them to church by yourself the rest of your life.
If you want to have hookups or one night stands, swipe left. I'm a proud mother of 7 kids. You are not against one night stands. You're either Mormon or you will fuck on the first date. Let's take a whole lot of detective work for me to see the flaws in your story here, ma'am.
Oh, Christ. Fucking Tinder's a nightmare. Burn it all down.
But like, well, I think Tinder's just a reflection on society, so it's just real.
It ain't Tinder's fault that that's who's on there.
Tinder's a mirror.
So the Heath-Bar family is they're gonna swap moms with the Simpsons. Is Lisa not into this at all? The wife, whose name I didn't write down, hates her husband.
Very cold woman.
Yeah, just a cold, stuffy, super buttoned up British lady who doesn't like Homer or anything about this whole wife swap thing. And she really hates Charles, the husband. Yeah. Marge, in the meantime, impressed by Charles. And I love that scene at the dinner table where he's like, well, I didn't get the promotion today, but I'm still manager. And he like winces like he's ready to be hit. And Marge is like, you manage a whole office?
Yeah, good for you.
He's so taken aback by how warm Marge is.
Yeah.
He, meanwhile, back at the Simpsons, is that British wife makes the family do reports on television that they watch. She turns TV into homework, which I thought was fun. Fucking Charles is such a pud. Like there's that scene on the couch where he's telling Marge that joke about the genie, and for every one thing you get, your wife will get twice that, and then the punchline is beat me half to death. Yeah, and he takes forever to get through it, and like, oh god, he just sucks.
Oh yeah,
but you know what he is? In love with Marge.
Yep.
So Marge comes back to the house with groceries, and he has candles lit, and he has a guitar out.
Yeah.
And he says something super swoony, and Marge says, what a thing for a man who's not interested in me to say. Yeah. Like, clueless Marge is so funny to me. Because she just can't imagine. And Charles, like, sings this fucking song.
Oh, yeah.
And Marge pushes him away, just like, no, what are you fucking talking about? Yeah. I'm married.
This is a game show.
So Marge comes back to the house. The wife has moved on and is with Patty. Or Selma, whichever.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think it's Patty. I don't quite remember which sister is which.
That was a good plot twist.
Yeah, just like, oh, where's my wife? Well, I'm not that anymore. I'm with Patty. And then we get Homer like playing a song on the guitar, you think to Marge, but he's playing it to the plasma that now hangs on the bedroom wall. Episode wraps up out of fucking nowhere.
Right.
Just like, it's just him singing a song to the plasma and Marge grunting and credits. Like,
then I think we maybe get some more Ricky Gervais in the...
over the credits, he like sings a song.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's like, because he's like talking about, oh, these are the credits, while he's like strumming on the guitar. And then his song peters out and he's like, oh, there's still more, but the song was too short. And he like plink plonks out a few more.
Does the British couple's kid have any kind of...
No, there's no real jokes with him. Like, Ricky Gervais's character kind of snaps and shouts about how he's definitely not his kid.
Oh, really?
You know? And, like, the kid, like, plays a fucking lute or something and then goes off to Mandarin lessons. Like, their kid is barely in it.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, we don't really get any laughs with that kid.
No. Yeah, not. I was about to say not my favorite, but definitely my least favorite of this batch. I didn't care for this one.
No, this one was like, it was like, it's over, and like it's like I had to
super fucking ass.
I had to re-look at it again. It's like I got to make some notes somewhere. And my notes were plasma screen TVs. Those were the days. And also, hey, Family Circus gig. That Family Circus sure wasn't funny. It's a very in-depth, deep dive notes. But then I should have been thinking more about like the weird. I wonder if that wife swap, if that shit's run its course, or if there's still
no idea.
Yeah, like.
I remember like there being like hubbub when those shows came out of like, can you imagine this is what they're airing?
Yeah.
Is this the bottom of the barrel of reality TV?
What was it with, there was a pro wrestling one. Was it Roddy Piper and Ric Flair where the husband swaps?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yep. That was the one.
Okay.
Yep.
One of Flair's 7 wives.
Yep, exactly. It's like Flair, like, and you just, the storylines are so contrived. It's like,
and it's all fake. You have to keep in mind that it's all fake. Although wrestlers, I bet, probably pretty good at that.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know?
Yeah.
Like playing along.
Yeah. So yeah, I know there was a wrestling one that made the rounds because Ric Flair had to Ric Flair the shit out of it.
Oh,
you know?
Of course.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he was on the whole time, wooing and all that.
Roddy Piper's house, pretty sedate, pretty normal.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know?
Like Roddy was successful, but not Ric Flair successful.
Yeah.
Also, he's not garish the way Ric Flair is.
Exactly.
So I can see Roddy Piper in a really nice cabin.
Yeah.
You know,
right. Yeah. Or just like in a 70s built ranch style house that he bought like in Portland before Portland got expensive.
Yeah.
You know,
Needs a new roof for sure.
Right. Yeah.
And he says that every day.
Yeah. I have to take care of this or it's going to be an emergency. We should do it now. I know. So yeah, man, yeah, that was not a downer to end. It wasn't like insultingly bad.
Right.
But it's like, and just this batch was definitely one of the weaker ones, I think.
I think it was weaker than last week.
Yeah.
But I think there was enough in here to where, like, as a whole, I was positive on it as a batch. Like, I wasn't fucking rolling laughing or anything. But there's a handful of gigs here and there. I really like the Rod and Todd stuff. I really like getting a glimpse into Rod and Todd's life and how fucking sad of an existence they have. Sad. I really liked that super clever story within a story within a story episode. I liked that one a lot. Mostly because we got a lot of Mr. Burns in it. Yeah, not bad.
It just didn't have a banger like last week's did, with the one with the Van Houtens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't have a Van Houten one every week.
That was like a once a season quality episode. Like,
that was a huge banger.
Where I'm laughing hard at multiple times in the episode.
You want to do it again next week? Why not? You ain't got nothing going on. Don't sit there and pretend you're busy.
Guilty.
We'll do 5 more next week. Season 17 episodes 16 through 20. That just fucking cooking.
Look at us just burning through season 17.
Yeah, just singing wrestling songs.
Alarming rate.
Watching Simpsons.
Yeah. What a life.
You and I are telling hella jokes this weekend.
We are.
We are doing a 3-day run.
3 days. The furthest reaches of the Dakotas.
Yep.
All up in it.
Anyway.
We will be in Williston.
On Thursday.
Amadon.
On Friday.
And Velva.
On Saturday.
Almost sounds like a lady part.
It does.
It's not.
It is dangerously close.
It's not, though. Keep that in mind.
By the time... by this time next week, you will have played Velva and Golva, which are 2 very close to lady-sounding part titles, all in the month of November.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a Mound, North Dakota. I think there might be. I don't know if they have a bar anymore.
Nathan's going to restrict himself to only playing North Dakota bars that sound vaguely like genitalia.
Yeah. So that's a goal. Everyone needs a goal. So, yeah. But in the meantime, while I'm hunting down those cities, we'll keep coming back. We'll keep making these podcasts. We hope you come listen.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
1 sense is all you got to use. You got 4 others. Do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want with the rest of your holes. We just want your ears.
Just the ear holes. You can be sniffing stuff, rubbing stuff, taste everything, bro. Look at everything. Look at what you're tasting and rubbing and sniffing. Oh, just listen. That's all we ask for you to do.
Oh, God. 16 through 20 for next week. You can find us on the internet at Barley Basket USA on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. BarleyBasketUSA@gmail.com is the email address. And we will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.